Welcome to the Huberman Lab podcast, where we delve into the fascinating world of science and explore evidence-based tools that you can apply to your everyday life. I'm Andrew Huberman, and I'm thrilled to have you join me today as we unlock the power of growth mindset. Now, you've likely heard of growth mindset before. It's become a bit of a buzzword in recent years. But what exactly is it? And more importantly, how can you harness its power to achieve peak performance in all aspects of your life? Today, we'll be diving deep into the science behind growth mindset, exploring the groundbreaking research of pioneers like Carol Dweck, who first introduced the concept, as well as the more recent findings of researchers like David Yeager and Alia Crum, who have expanded our understanding of how to implement and leverage this powerful mindset. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's define what we mean by mindset. You might think of it as a mental attitude, a way of looking at the world. And you'd be right in part. But a mindset is much more specific than that. It's a lens, a framework that shapes how we process information, how we interpret our experiences, and ultimately, how we behave. Think of it this way. We're constantly bombarded with information. Sensory input from our surroundings, internal sensations from our bodies, thoughts and emotions swirling within us. Our minds have to make sense of it all, organize it into something manageable. That's where mindsets come in. They act as filters, highlighting certain pieces of information and downplaying others, guiding our attention and shaping our responses. And here's the fascinating part. Mindsets often operate beneath the surface of our awareness. We don't consciously choose our mindsets in each moment. Instead, they're woven into the fabric of our beliefs about ourselves and the world around us. For example, take a moment to consider your own beliefs about your abilities. Are you naturally gifted in certain areas? Are there subjects or skills that you simply aren't good at? These beliefs, often formed early in life based on our experiences and the feedback we receive, create powerful narratives that shape our behavior. And as you'll soon discover, these narratives can either propel us forward or hold us back. Now let's talk about Carol Dweck and the research that paved the way for our understanding of growth mindset. One of her most impactful studies, titled "Praise for Intelligence Can Undermine Children's Motivation and Performance," revealed a surprising truth. Praising children for their intelligence can actually hinder their future performance. In this study, researchers divided children into two groups. One group received praise for their intelligence. "You're so smart," while the other group received praise for their effort. "You worked really hard on that." What they found was fascinating. The children who were praised for their intelligence tended to choose easier tasks in subsequent challenges, avoiding the risk of making mistakes that might jeopardize their smart label. Conversely, the children who were praised for their effort were more likely to embrace challenging tasks, seeing them as opportunities to learn and grow. And the differences didn't stop there. The effort-praised children also showed greater persistence, tackling more problems, and ultimately outperforming their intelligence-praised peers. So what's the takeaway here? The narratives we internalize, especially early in life, have a profound impact on our behavior. When we're told we're smart, we become afraid to make mistakes, to tarnish that image. But when we're praised for our effort, for our willingness to embrace challenges, we develop a growth mindset, a belief that our abilities are malleable, that we can improve through dedication and hard work. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that makes sense for children, but I'm an adult. Can I still shift my mindset? The answer is a resounding yes. Our brains are wired for lifelong learning and adaptation, a concept known as neuroplasticity. This means that we can change our mindsets, rewire our brains at any age. But here's the catch. It takes effort. Shifting from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset requires conscious effort and a willingness to challenge our deeply held beliefs. So how do we do it? How do we cultivate a growth mindset and unleash its transformative power? The first step is to become aware of our current mindsets. What are the narratives we tell ourselves about our abilities? Do we shy away from challenges, fearing failure, or do we embrace them as opportunities to learn and grow? Once we've identified our default mindsets, we can begin to challenge them. And a powerful tool for doing so is to shift our focus from labels to verbs. Instead of praising ourselves or others for being smart or talented, we can focus on praising the effort, the persistence, the strategies employed. Instead of berating ourselves for mistakes, we can analyze them, identify what went wrong, and use that information to improve. Another key tool is to seek help when we need it. Asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of a growth mindset in action. It's an acknowledgement that we don't have all the answers, that we can learn and grow from the experiences of others. Now let's talk about stress. We often think of stress as something negative, something to be avoided. And while chronic stress can be detrimental to our health and well-being, acute stress, the kind we experience when facing a challenge, can actually enhance our performance. Alia Crum, a researcher at Stanford, has done groundbreaking work on the power of stress mindsets. Her research has shown that how we think about stress, whether we view it as debilitating or enhancing, has a profound impact on our physiological and psychological responses. In one study, participants were divided into two groups. One group watched a video highlighting the negative effects of stress, while the other group watched a video highlighting the enhancing effects of stress. Afterward, both groups participated in a stressful task. What they found was remarkable. The group that had been primed to view stress as enhancing showed improved performance on the task, while the group that had been primed to view stress as debilitating showed a decline in performance. So how can we harness the power of stress to enhance our performance? The key is to adopt a stress is enhancing mindset, to view stress as a signal that our bodies are mobilizing resources to meet a challenge. Instead of fearing the physical sensations of stress, the racing heart, the sweaty palms, we can reframe them as signs that we're ready to rise to the occasion. And here's the really exciting part. When we combine a growth mindset with a stress is enhancing mindset, we create a powerful synergy that amplifies our performance. David Yeager, a researcher at the University of Texas at Austin, has conducted numerous studies on the combined effects of these mindsets. His work has shown that students who are taught both growth mindset and stress is enhancing mindset principles experience significant improvements in academic performance, self-regulation, and well-being. In one study, Yeager and his colleagues developed a brief, 30-minute intervention that combined growth mindset and stresses enhancing mindset principles. The intervention, delivered to thousands of students across diverse socioeconomic backgrounds, led to remarkable results: a 40% improvement in self-regard, a 14% improvement in passing rates for challenging courses, and a significant increase in students' willingness to embrace future challenges. So, what are the key takeaways from Yeager's research? First, brief interventions can have a lasting impact. We don't need lengthy training programs to shift our mindsets. Even short bursts of targeted information can make a difference. Second, these interventions work across diverse populations. Regardless of our backgrounds or prior experiences, we can all benefit from cultivating growth and stress is enhancing mindsets. Third, these mindsets work synergistically. When we combine a belief in our ability to grow with a view of stress as enhancing, we unlock our full potential. Now you might be wondering, what does this intervention look like? How can I access these transformative tools? Well, I reached out to Dr. Yeager, and he generously shared some insights into the intervention used in his research. The intervention begins by asking participants to reflect on a time when they experienced stress. This simple act of recall primes the brain to be more receptive to new information about stress. The intervention then introduces the concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's remarkable ability to change and adapt throughout life. By understanding that our brains are not fixed, that we can learn and grow at any age, we open ourselves up to the possibility of change. The intervention then reframes the experience of stress, highlighting the adaptive nature of the stress response. It explains that the physical sensations of stress, the racing heart, the sweaty palms, are not signs of weakness, but rather signs that our bodies are mobilizing resources to help us meet a challenge. Finally, the intervention encourages participants to embrace challenges, to view them as opportunities for growth rather than threats to our ego. And here's a simple but powerful tool you can use to solidify these mindsets. Write a letter to your future self, or even better, to someone else who's facing a challenge, explaining the principles of growth mindset and stress is enhancing mindset. This act of teaching reinforces these concepts in your own mind and helps you internalize them more deeply. So, as we wrap up our exploration of growth mindset, remember this: your mind is a powerful tool. By understanding the science of learning, by cultivating a growth mindset, by embracing the enhancing power of stress, and by seeking help when we need it, we can achieve extraordinary things. Thank you for joining me today for this deep dive into the fascinating world of growth mindset. I hope you've gained valuable insights and practical tools that you can implement in your own life. If you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and leaving a review on your preferred podcast platform. Your support helps us continue to create and share this valuable content. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep reaching for your full potential.